Everyone sees the wins, the medals, the highlight reels. But greatness starts before the scoreboard, right here in Aurora. In our schools, parks, and neighborhoods, athletes are grinding, growing, and chasing. Come along with me as I interview the legends and rising stars right here in Aurora. My name is Mason Atkins, and this is Athletes in Aurora. We are here at West Aurora High School, Blackhawks Field, with the quarterback star himself, Mason Atkins. Mason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, I heard that you were the talk around town. I mean, last season, 10-1, you're a commit to Ball State. First, scholarship since 1983 in order for that to happen. There's a lot of accolades that you have. But the first one I'll go with is, how did you guys get to 10-1 last season?
Yeah, I think we had a really good senior class last year. Obviously, we had really good juniors and everything, but we just had a really good team last year, and we all really came together as a team and worked really well. I mean, we had some insane athletes at receiver, at safety, DB, all of these things. So I think it was really just a combination of a ton of good athletes on one team that bonded really well with each other. I played with a lot of these guys my freshman and sophomore year, so just continuing to build that relationship and teammate bond, that was really helpful. And on top of that, everyone was great football players.
Going into, your commit to Ball State, you're the first D1 scholar at West Aurora High School since 1983. What does that mean to you to have that crazy, stat line attached to your name?
Yeah, I think, it's really great to hear, but, it's a long process for sure. In the off season, all my throwings with different coaches, and Coach Eimer helped a ton. I mean, he got all these coaches on numbers and everything, so he was able to send out texts and calls and just get me as much exposure as possible for me. So he was, just a great help. And then obviously, if they liked my film and they got it, had a chance to come out to watch me throw and whatever they like to see, some guys would offer, some guys wouldn't. But it was really surreal, being able to meet a lot of really cool coaches throughout this process. And obviously Ball State, I love the whole coaching staff, Coach Yu, new head coach, and then Coach Harmon, the quarterback coach. I just built a great connection with everyone, and it just felt like home to me.
Now, I know you're still going through your senior year, you have a lot of football to play left, but what is the most #1 exciting thing you're looking forward to once you get to Ball State?
Yeah, I think definitely it's gonna be a big change of make of course, but I'm just excited to finally, take the next step for college football, kind of show everyone what I have in college football, try and make a jump in the depth chart early. And obviously when you go to college, you want to play, you don't want to sit behind guys. So I think I'm just ready to go in there and compete. There's going to be quarterbacks that are just as good as me, if not better there. So I have to just prove myself every day.
Now, I heard that you played a little bit of baseball.
Yeah.
What really got you, you're a two-sport athlete, right? So what really got you into baseball? How did that start? And how do you think, those baseball skills transferred over to football?
Yeah, so I started playing baseball when I was real young. My dad played baseball, basketball, and football, so I played all those growing up. But baseball, it was really growing up. I didn't know if I was more of a baseball player or a football player until about high school. And then football kind of took off, but baseball, all my best friends growing up, we all played travel baseball. We all went to the same elementary school and middle school. So that was really where I built my closest bonds with my friends. But baseball has definitely helped. Growing up, I played a little bit of shortstop. So being able to have different arm angles and things and just being out there and being an athlete has really helped with baseball and football.
Our co-host Mike off camera was saying, you had a historical season last year with no interceptions.
Sir.
What goes into your mind once you finish the season, you realize, hey, I didn't mess up once, obviously, throwing in.
Yeah, I think throughout the season, I didn't really realize it or really think much of it, but putting together my highlights and everything and putting together my stats, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool that happened. But you just want to win games, and I went out there with a great offense and great offensive coordinator that helped me throughout all those plays, and my guys just went out there and made plays. I just got them the ball, so they made it really easy for me.
Do you feel are you more of a dual threat quarterback? Do you feel like your strength is more in throwing? Do you feel like it's kind of all around?
Yeah.
Talk to me more about your game as a whole.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely a dual threat. I want to be able to do everything when I'm on the field. I want to be able to throw the ball, run with the ball, you don't just want to limit yourself to one thing. You don't want to just be able to drop back and not be able to move around, especially in today's game. You know, I think it's evolved a lot in football. You see Patrick Mahomes and you see all these guys running around and making all these great plays. So that's really what I'm trying to model my game after. You know, I want to be able to run the ball and be able to throw the ball.
All right, so we're gonna do some rapid fire questions here. First question, favorite quarterback in the NFL to watch?
I think right now is probably between Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. We just saw them obviously match up, and that was a great game. And I got Josh Allen on my fantasy team, so that's a big plus, yeah, for sure.
We spoke to you about, you know, playing baseball and football. Would you rather get a game-winning drive or a game-winning home run?
I think, ooh, that's hard. I think game-winning drive. You know, definitely for high school, you got a lot bigger of a crowd, and obviously it's a sport that I love, so I feel like there'd be a ton of energy in there. But I mean, when it gets down to like playoff baseball and you hit a home run, the energy is insane there too. But I think you'd have to go like a game-winning drive.
When you're not playing football, when you're not watching film, what's some of your hobbies? What are some things that most people, you know, don't know about you?
Yeah, I think, you know, I just like hanging out with friends on the weekends especially, and after football games. I'm always with friends and we're just hanging out doing stuff. I'm big with just sports and I just love being out and doing stuff. And during the summer, we love swimming. Like, we'll always go to our friends' pools, we'll all just be swimming. And, you know, over the summer, I've been learning a couple different flips, you know, just gainers and backflips and things like that, so that's fun. And yeah, I think a big thing is really just hanging out with friends, for sure.
I have one more baseball versus football question. Which one is harder, a blitz pickup or hitting the curveball?
Probably a curveball. I think curveball is the hardest thing to do in sports. It's a lot harder when you're in the box and you're actually trying to hit that ball. I think it's the hardest thing in sports for sure.
You know, we talked more about, you know, baseball, but what really got you into football? Like, was it, you know, a certain family member? Was it people around you? Like, what was that first real exposure for you that said, you know what, I'm gonna go play?
Yeah, it was definitely my dad. You know, he played quarterback all throughout his life and up to high school, and he introduced me to flag football, and then up until the Aurora Gators when I was 9 years old. So it was definitely my dad.
Now I think that's enough questions for us. Why don't we try to, you know, see if I can run a route? Okay. Yeah. I got the dress shoes on. Yeah. They're a little tightened up right now, so you know. I got the hands warmed up now, so it's a little warmed up now. So, all right, let's get to it. Ready? Let's go. Now that's what you call a superior catch right there. Mason, thank you so much for your time today, man.
Yep.
Good luck this season. Come out and support the West Aurora Blackhawks. And we'll see you next time on Athletes in Aurora.